Well, the public's been beautiful to me, and I return it to them. I still love to perform to them, and I just have a great life.
Great.
And then Tony's daughters.
Good night.
He's been beautiful to me, and he's really changed my career for the better, and he's been a great friend. He's my best friend.
Johnny, this way. Johnny, I love you. Johnny.
Johnny, t'es trop près.
To sing for Mandela is, I'm so emotionally moved by it tonight. I'm thrilled with it.
I will be singing to Tony tonight on stage when I work with Rob Zombie. I'm going to try and show it. I can't even match his vocal quality, but I'll try.
Kelly, over here. Hey, one by yourself, Billy, real quick. One by yourself, sir.
You know what? Bring her in and bring it to.
Where do you want me?
It was great. You know, I learned a lot from him, and his level of discipline, you could never underestimate it. He wakes up every day, he plays tennis, he does his scales, and he still does it every day.
That's wonderful. It means everything, you know, being an American. It's the highest honor you could ever receive, and it's something I'll remember for the rest of my life.
Means a lot to us, the history, and she deserves all the...
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Michelle, the front of the dress, the front, Michelle! All the way to the left. All the way to the left. Perfect. To the right.
Just enjoying life. I enjoy life very much.
How do you enjoy life?
I just happen to have that spirit. I've always had a passion to live. I believe in living. Because you see, once you're dead, that's it.
Apparently, I'm not the only one because it's on day one.
Well, I started out the very same way as she did, with thousands of people cheering me and all that, you know. And later on, I just said, I want to do it in a very simple way, you know. And instead of big stadiums and all that, I like to play in fine acoustical halls like this one right here. If it was up to me, I'd have a piano here and I would do a show right here for everybody.
Tony Bennett is just the ultimate gentleman. He is a true legendary jazz singer. Just like Frank Sinatra said, he's the best in the business.
Gaga, you were beautiful. You were great too. To the right, please. Gaga! Gaga, second row. Gaga, second row. Gaga, you were great.
Hello, Prince Harry. It's nice to meet you. I'm Lady Gaga. This is Mr. Tony Bennett.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for being here.
So you've been all over the place. Where did you just come from? California.
Yes. I was in the forest of Serbia.
Tell me, how did two people like you end up doing something like this together?
I heard it perform and I said, we have to get together.
Jazz, baby.
That's the reason.
Yeah.
That's the perfect reason. That is fantastic.
Both icons have been around for so long.
I think it's wonderful. I mean, I have no idea what the film, I haven't seen it yet. So tonight's a very special night for me because I've heard so much about it and I can't wait to see what he created.
Yeah.
Well, I've always done the two things that I love to do, which is sing and paint. And it's wonderful being honored about it.
Did you cover the Hello Dolly? One of my coworkers, she saw it. I aimed it at him. One of my coworkers, she saw it. I aimed it at him.
Represented here today by Virginia Mayor and Mayor Bloomberg.
I still haven't gotten over Connecticut. I'd like the assault weapons to go to war, not in our own country. And I'd like assault weapons eliminated. Thank you. I think it's a lot of luck, but I happen to like what I do very much, and I'm interested in it, and I'm still interested in it. I'd love to, I have a passion to sing and paint, and that's all I do.
When I come home to you, San Francisco, your golden sun will
Tony,
Happy
straight ahead
birthday,
here.
sir. Let's start on the far left here.
Birthday to you. Tony,
Mr. Bennett.
straight ahead. That's it. Thank you.
Tony, straight ahead.
There's plenty, but I'll tell you, this is a day I'll never forget as long as I live. It's to be treated this way at 90 years old, I feel like I'm 19 years old. It's a wonderful treat, and it's one of the very special days in my whole life.
Mr. Bennett. Far left here. Thank you, Tony.
Straight ahead here, Tony.
And Mr. Bennett.
Thank you.
Right here. How about
I think when he sang to everybody. I was very happy that he was able to perform for as many years as he performed. And then I was happy to see him performing with Lady Gaga and all the younger performers. And I think they had a certain admiration for him, which is wonderful.
For our school community, he had a tremendous impact on our students. His vision was for New York City public school students to be able to study an art form that they loved and had talent in from a young age. And so we've had thousands of students come through our doors and study music and singing and fine art, dance, drama, filmmaking, all because Tony Bennett had the vision of creating a school where that could take place.
He was an icon, definitely. Yeah, he will be missed, but all his music will carry on, that's for sure.
You know, we did the Cheek to Cheek record and we were toured all over the world, you know, Spain, Italy, you know, we went all these beautiful places, Brussels, and we came home to New York and you know, Tony's hometown where I've been here for 20 years. Gaga grew up here, and we were on stage at Radio City, and I'll never forget the feeling of that big Radio City curtain going up and just the roar of the crowd pushing the curtain. And we could feel them, you know, and that was for Tony and for Gaga, and it was just like man, I'll never forget it. I'll never forget that. it was really a dream come true. I mean, at a young age, I was a huge Tony Bennett fan, and emulated him and all the greats, Frank Sinatra, that whole era. But I really feel like Tony had something special. He was something else. He was something different. His humility, his civil rights activism, and just the way that the respect that he had for the humans and for the tradition of the Great American Songbook. I think I learned so much from him on and off the stage. And even before we played together, it was just always an incredible feeling being with him. We were sitting at the bar having some champagne, on a night off, and all of a sudden Tony's behind us, and he asked us if he could have a glass of champagne with us, and we were just like, what, what, like, of course you please sit down, it was just, and just the stories that he told, and just I can't get over, his life and the way that he treated people, and I know I keep saying his humility, but that really lended to his longevity. And there's no one that has made as many records and has touched as many lives as Tony Bennett. And it is truly an honor to be in his orbit and be on stage and just work with him. And it was really good. I'll always remember the great Tony Bennett in so many ways, but I think for me, what he's given me, for me, my family, just in my life, like I'll just never forget his kindness and his generosity and willingness to include me and my boys and just be, every time I saw him, he'd be like, "Hey, how's the Bambina?" My wife, Angie Pontani, a famous burlesque dancer in her own right. She was pregnant at the time when we were doing Cheek to Cheek. So he was always like, "How's the Bambina?" It was just, I'll always remember those moments and just the legend that is Tony Bennett, man. There's nobody ever better and nobody ever will,
In San Francisco, high on a hill, it calls to me.
When I come home to you, San Francisco, your golden sun will shine for me. Tony Bennett is one of the most extraordinary figures of American popular music because he had such a long and fruitful career. Certainly anyone who sings an American popular song has been influenced by him because he had great standards of interpretation that inspired all of us. He cared very deeply about the lyric and conveying the message of the songs. And he spent a lot of time preparing to perform what may seem like a simple 3 or 4 minute creation. And the fact that he was able to continue doing what he did through many, many decades is a testament to the timelessness of his art.
The encounters that I had with him, the handful, he was sweet, kind, effusive, generous, and gave me every impression that he was every inch the cheerful, song-loving, audience-loving person he was on stage. And I was grateful to him, and I remain grateful to him, and I'm proud of him, and I'm happy for him that he had such a great run all the way up until the end.
It's interesting about Tony because people say that he reinvented himself, but he really didn't, in the sense that he just did what he did. And when he went on MTV in the mid-'80s, he wore a suit. He didn't try and be anything different from what he was, and the audience came to him because there was a timelessness to his art. So he didn't need to change anything that he did. And his choice to work with younger pop singers was born out of his desire to share what he knew. And anyone who is a talented musician or a musician with awareness is always looking to learn more about our art. And Tony was an oracle for that.
I'll say, with the world in the state that it's in right now, and so much bad news and so many things to be worried and concerned about, Tony Bennett's was one of the great lights of joy and hope in the music and in the entertainment world. And it's always a shame when a light like that goes out.
There are very few singers who were able to keep their range and sing in the same key through his whole career. He never had to lower the keys. He had this God-given gift of being able to maintain the same range, and that's almost impossible. But that was Tony. One of the miracles of music is that it keeps us connected to the world. And I've performed a lot for people with dementia and Alzheimer's, and sometimes people who are non-communicative will sing because that part of the brain stays intact. And often after they listen to music, there's something that happens in their brain that engages them, that they are able to hold a conversation when they were literally nonverbal before. That's the miracle of music. And there's an amazing organization called IMNF, the Institute for Music and Neurological Function, that has been doing research and work to use music as therapy. And Tony became the greatest ambassador for that because the music stayed strong in his soul, and regardless of what else was going on with the problems with his ability to think and cogitate, he still could sing and connect with that part. So that is miraculous, and it's something that I hope other people will use to be able to live a better life as they age.
What Tony Bennett represented for all of us was joy and hope and entertainment. He brought all of us so much joy as an entertainer. And also when he would visit our school, his face would light up when he spoke to students and when he saw students perform. And being here brought him so much joy, and him being here brought us so much joy. So today we're all really sad and grateful to Tony Bennett and his wife Susan Benedetto, and his legacy lives on in our students. Yeah, it's a sad day for the world and for our school community. Tony Bennett and his wife Susan Benedetto started this school and their organization Exploring the Arts in the late 90s, and this was the first school that they started, and now they're in many, many schools in California and in New York. For our school community, he had a tremendous impact on our students. His vision was for New York City public school students to be able to study an art form that they loved and had talent in from a young age. And so we've had thousands of students come through our doors and study music and singing and fine art, dance, drama, filmmaking, all because Tony Bennett had the vision of creating a school where that could take place. Yeah, I think he was an artist, an amazing singer, famous singer, also an amazing and well-known painter. Some people don't know that. And he also was a civil rights activist and humanitarian, and I think he wanted to use his resources in order to give back to his hometown of Astoria, and for students living in New York City to be able to follow in his footsteps of entertaining and social justice and humanitarianism.